Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at our next installment of our stocks versus metals challenge, which is a little challenge I come up with, and this is where we've got the two investments in a head-to-head battle to see which one can race its way to an ounce of gold first. Right, so with that all being said and done, let's jump on into the video and let's pick up where we left off. Right, so following on from our last video, we did have a spot price of £3,506.47. And as of the time of investment for this month, we had a spot price of £3,854.74, which is a massive monthly jump of £348.27, which is kind of crazy. If you voted Team Metals last month, you may be onto something. But it's just what the markets do. So it certainly makes things interesting because as much as it can go up, it can also go down. Right, and then something that I didn't actually follow last video, but I think we will add going forward, is the spot price for a gram of gold as well, considering we are stacking the 1 gram Tabexes. So it would be cool just to kind of gauge what the spot price is versus the premiums that we're buying them for. So as of the 9th of March, which is when I added new funds into the market, a single gram of gold on spot was £123.93. Right, and then moving over to the stocks, we have our main portfolio backbone, which is our bundle of ETFs for the global markets. So as you can see, we are currently down 2.4% on the monthly chart. But like I say, this challenge is going to be fully transparent, both the ups and the downs, but same again, it does fluctuate, so there will be good days and bad. If you're doing this yourself, don't focus too much on the price on a day-to-day basis. It's cool to look at the markets to kind of get a feel for what the prices is doing, but obviously don't get disheartened if you look at your portfolio and it is down, because I can almost guarantee in a couple of days or a week or so it will bounce straight back up. So yeah, on the monthly chart then we were down 2.4%. And if we move over to the maximum chart, which is the whole time we've held it, which is currently over a 2-month period, admittedly, we are still down. We actually took a loss of 2.9%. Right, and then moving on to our pickup from last month, which was Imperial Brands. And unfortunately, on the monthly chart, we are down 4.9% and a loss of £1.99. So it's really not looking good for Team Stocks. However, we've had these stocks for 5 weeks now. So if we actually convert that over to the max chart and not just the monthly, we're actually in profit. So although we did take a loss of 5% over the last 4 weeks, we are still in profit of 1.5%, which is 57p. And there is hope yet for Team Stocks. Right, and then to finish off with our superstar from last month, which was our SSE stock. In the last 4 weeks, we have a rate of return of 3.7%, which is £1.15, which potentially won't be enough to get us out the hole with the all-world pie, but it is what it is. And then if we switch that over to the maximum chart, which is the whole time we've had it since January, it's actually done really, really well. I'm really impressed with this one, to be fair. We have a rate of return of 14.1%, so we're actually up £3.99. So we'll have to see how that affects the total price when we move over to the recap. Alright, so on the month 2 recap then, we did have a spot price of £3,506.47. Throughout the month, we've seen some insane growth. So we actually had a boost of £348.27, which gave us a new spot price of £3,854.74 per ounce, which in turn works out to £123.93 per gram. Right, and then moving over to the investments. So both the 1 gram bars and the stocks have both had the same amount invested into both of them. So the total invested into both investments is currently sat at £265.97. So then following up from the last video, our previous balance, which was the value from the chart plus the new money that was invested, was sat at £246.76. And then after leaving that balance in the market for the last month to appreciate, we have seen a really healthy return. So our new balance is now sat at £255.97 with a monthly change of £9.21. So thanks to the gold being so strong this month, it's actually gave us a really healthy return. So then when we take a look at our overall profits, unfortunately, we are still down by £10, which is partly due to those premiums and the extra delivery charges and everything else. So our ROI is sat minus 3.76%, which isn't actually too bad. I'm actually really impressed with how quickly that's clawed back those premiums. So yeah, we're not a million miles away from breaking even. Moving over to our stocks. So this one also had that 265.97 invested. And our balance from the previous video was £267.88, thanks to our little bit of profit we earned on the last month. Same as the 1 gram bars, this money was also left in the market for the last month. So we have a new balance of £266.23. So unfortunately, we didn't fare as good as Team Metals. So we did take a loss of £1.65. So although the stocks did take the win in the last video, with a positive monthly change of £9.21 over the month, I think it's fair to say that Team Metals have took the point this time around, making it 1-1 on the series. So we will have to keep tabs of that score. So you have to let me know what your predictions are, who's going to take the point next month. Although it's not all doom and gloom for team stocks, although they did concede the point this month, they are still holding on to a slight bit of profit. So they are up 26p overall. So their return on investment is 0.10%. So it's pretty much neck and neck. There's literally £10 difference between the two. So yeah, it's certainly leading towards a interesting battle so far. So with that out of the way, we will head over to the start of month number 3 and we'll take a look at what we've picked up. So for the precious metals, we've gone for another Tiax. Obviously, we need to keep the subscription going, so we need to buy a 1 gram every single month as a minimum. Right, and then inside of our little envelope, we do have a very beautiful little 1 gram gold Tiax bar. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous little bar. Then on the back, we do have our holographic security seal. 1 gram of 49's fine. And you can see it's from the Nadir metal refiner. So yeah, really, really cool. Right, so that takes us up to 3 bars then for our 3rd month of the challenge. Now, same again, an ounce of gold is 31.1 grams of gold. So to have 3 1 gram bars, we're technically 1/10 of the way to an ounce of gold. So there is a somewhat time limit on it, not including what the spot price does. After 31 months, we're at an ounce of gold, regardless where spot's at. I'm going to guess we're going to get there way before 28 months on both metals and stocks. As to which one's going to be in the lead, I genuinely don't know. But it's going to be fun finding out. But anyhow, let's move over to our pickups for our stocks for this month. So we did end up spending £147.47. So we invested that same amount of money into the stock markets, and this is what we picked up for month number 3. So although it was down this month, I'm still a big believer that the global market ETFs are going to be the backbone of this portfolio. So same as always, I have put £100 into that one, although the screenshot was a bit naff, so for whatever reason I didn't actually get the screenshot of me buying it. It's just the balance afterwards. But you can see that the investing is completed. So the pie is now worth £295.29. So that was 100 of our 147.47 into that one. So with the remainder £47.47, I did pick up 1 new stock, and that was National Grid, which is ticker symbol NG. So I ended up picking up £27.47 worth. Obviously, we have stamp duty, so there was 14 pence worth of stamp duty, leaving us with £27.33. But same again, like the big energy companies, I generally do feel they're future-proofed. Until the whole country goes fully self-sufficient, we're always going to need power. So regardless of what's going on in the world, whether that be natural disasters, pandemics, wars, everybody still needs electric. And like I said, I have previously owned them and they've done really well on returns. So I think it's going to be a good fit for the challenge. And then with the last £20 of our budget, I ended up going with our good old faithful SSE. And yeah, basically they're our top performer. They're absolutely smashing it and they're helping to even out any of the lows. So I thought, why not? We'll throw another 20 quid into it. Still got 10 pence worth of stamp duty, so we got an extra £19.90 worth of SSE to add to the balance. So we will have to look back onto that next month, and hopefully they will continue to grow as well as they've done so far. But yeah, you have to let me know in the comments, guys, what's your predictions for next month. There's very, very little between the two, so I think it is going to make for some interesting viewing. Right, and then with that all out the way, I am going to enjoy my little Tabex suite. But as always, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the content today, and I'll catch you all over on the next one.